Good morning, everybody on here, and I just wanted to come to you with this month's video. I am not outside this morning, but I got this great view behind me which captures our incredible winter that's happening here in Maine, and it's really been a beautiful winter, I have to say that. It's like being in a winter wonderland, and I'm in heaven because I'm a snow person, so I love it here. Anyways, this month, I wanted to talk about how mentoring or being a mentor is connected, and having a mentor as well, is connected with our success patterns. And our success patterns are, as we know, they're tied to so many things in our existence and the way that we experience our existence and the way that we go through life. Our approach to life, how we deal with life, the choices that we make in life, they're attached to so many different pieces that are really exciting. They're the exciting pieces. They're the pieces that make us feel a little bit more alive. And those are the things like creativity. Those are the things like the spark, the passion, the engaging of the mental mind, and the wholeness of the creative mind and the mental mind working together. It is the ability to operate with true wisdom in our life, that realness, that coming from our own genuine self, that piece of being everything that we are. So a lot of times in the book, The Code Journey, I talk about that mentor pattern coming up, or that mentoring energy coming up. And a lot of people, I think, naturally go to, oh, I've got to find a coach. I've got to work with somebody. And there's so many different layers to mentoring, which is why I really wanted to address this month, because this piece is exciting and it happens in so many different ways. And yes, sometimes it is in that traditional sense of an aspect that we pay somebody and we work with them because like many traditions, many belief systems will work with a guru, for example. But that relationship is a two-way street. And for that relationship to work, there has to be integrity. There has to be transparency. There has to be an openness, a vulnerability. It is not like a lot of other tools or paths that we use in our life, because the mentor or the mentoring relationship is really more of a relationship than a tool. And it's through that relationship that we engage in life. We engage in ourselves, we engage with others, we engage in the experience of being in this dimension, in this world, in this life. So this becomes a really, really powerful piece. And what most people don't realize is, in an ironic way here in the third dimension, in the aspect of the earthly world, then we find that actually it ties into to our responsibility patterns. And most people don't realize that, but it's about living responsible, which is not heavy. And this is the part of being responsible that isn't heavy energy for us. So I'm just going to take a breath there for a minute because this really is an exciting piece to think. So I talk about this a lot coming up. And in this process of the mentor and the engaging, and yes, sometimes we will pay for that mentor because there is somebody with an expertise that we choose to really draw on. And that is the way that they create an exchange. But not all mentoring relationships are paid relationships. When you think about this, this might happen with our friends. This might happen with family. This might happen with significant others. This can happen oftentimes in the workplace, where somebody, a supervisor or a manager, or somebody that is a CEO even in some companies, will engage one-on-one with somebody who is really enthusiastic, who's really into learning things, who really wants to absorb everything. And that mentoring energy or that mentoring pattern opens up because they see the commitment to the progression. They see the commitment to not just being in one place and being in stagnation. So they see that person as invested in the process, so they're willing to invest in the process. It's a two-way street. There has to be investment in both ways, but a mentor will not invest in somebody if they are not sincere in progressing in a way with integrity and wisdom. So that's where it kind of differentiates between, say, that supervisor or that company that has a training program, and they'll train anybody to go into that position. So the mentoring process is really a very special thing. Now, the mentor energy, when we look at it from a code perspective, runs on abundance. That's absolutely right. Our abundant energy, our success energy, our health energy, our creative energy. So we have all these pieces that come together in this really beautiful way, and this is the real abundance. This is the real, true abundant energy. So if you want to unlock abundant patterns in your life, then tuning into mentoring relationships, being a mentor, receiving mentoring energy into your sphere is going to be a very powerful experience for you. Now, I know that along the way Jesse worked with mentors from other dimensions. I know that many spiritual healers will do that as well. They work with their mentors through guides, through angels. People have a lot of different belief systems. They use God as their mentoring energy. So there's a lot of different ways that that can come about, both tangible and non-tangible. Now, in the earthly realm, as I mentioned, there's a lot of different forms. Everybody that we pass, everybody that is in our life has the potential to be a mentor for us. And we might not even realize that, because sometimes, especially as people move into being more of a mentor, they move more into coaching and working with others and sharing their wisdom and sharing their knowledge, they sometimes forget that the student, the first-time student especially, can be one of the most powerful mentors for them. Because each generation that comes in has different code patterns that they come in with. I talk about this in the book, The Code Journey, where there are starseed groupings and there are other generational groupings. And each of these groupings brings in a different perspective, a different energy current, a different flow to it. And as they bring these pieces in, that means the mentor, and a true mentor realizes this, that they're always being mentored. The mentor and the mentoree are always in relationship. They're always serving in both roles. So it makes it even more powerful, because at this point we're now sharing and receiving simultaneously abundance into our life. And when we do this, we create success, and we create our own success. We're taking command of our own life through this process, because the mentor will not tell you what to do. The mentor energy, and this is very big over the next couple of months here in the code patterns for the monthly energy, is not there to give you a step-by-step guide, like a training guide of how to do things. What they're there to do is to share and interact with you from the wisdom that they know, from the wisdom base that they have to work with. Okay? So that is an aspect that becomes very, very important to us, because what we're doing is we're gaining different perspectives through the mentoring relationship. We're taking the time to observe and to listen and to pay attention and to get present, not only with the way things are right now, but from the experiences that other people have had. Because we are never going to have exactly the same experience that somebody else has. We might have similar things. We might have experiences that allow us to relate to their experiences, but we're never going to have exactly their experiences. So if we're paying attention, and if we start approaching each person around us with this concept of being in a mentoring relationship with them, what we're doing is we're now focusing our energy on abundance and success and taking command of our own life. And I keep coming back to that because we really don't want to live somebody else's life. We want to put our own ideas into actions. We're not here to live somebody else's dream. We're here to live our dream. And that's a very big differentiation. So in order to live a dream that you enjoy, that you're going to love, you've got to be in your dream. And you've got to take the time to tune into that. And it's constant. It may constantly refine. Your dream at 20 years old might be different than your dream at 50 years old. And I think a lot of us who have lived a little bit here on earth and who have gone through life realize that differentiation in there. So I wanted to bring that piece up because I think that's really important. And you have command over your dreams. So to realize that you have command over the influences, you have command, you have choices, and it comes through making wise choices. But even from, say, a basic aspect of the law of abundance, where you focus your energy is what you're going to create. So if you're focusing your energy on a mentoring relationship which unlocks this abundance for you, then you're going to be creating an abundant lifestyle. You're going to be creating that. So the mentor does not tell you specifically, you've got to do it in these steps, A, B, C, D, and E. What they're going to do is they're going to look at how are you approaching things? How do you want to approach things? Where are you starting from? What are you working with? And they're going to give you the insights and the advice of what you might run into, things you want to pay attention to, things you might want to avoid along the way. They're going to help you to understand the importance of maybe doing certain things and incorporating certain things. But then you need to take those things and make them your own. You need to take them and say, how do I implement that in my way? How do I implement that in a way from my base of understanding as well? How do I blend these different pieces and these different perspectives? And as we open ourselves, and it used to be very traditional, you just had one mentor in your life. But as I said, everybody around us has the potential to be a mentor if we open to that, if we pay attention. And it is through the observation, and it doesn't even mean you have to engage in a specific question and answer experience with them. It can simply be common conversation. What are your experiences in life? What have you learned from that? How has that helped you? Where did that create successes for you? Where did that hinder your successes for you? Do you know anything about this? It's no different than if you were going to take on a project. For example, you wanted to remodel your kitchen, but you didn't know how to remodel your kitchen. Well, you're going to go to somebody who's an expert who's done maybe a lot of remodels. And maybe you won't just talk to one contractor or one person at the home improvement store. You're going to go to a whole bunch of different ones, and you're going to pull up videos online. You're going to get people's different perspectives. And in doing that, you're going to find some really common themes. You're going to find these are your basic steps. These are the ways to do it. But because you have your own set of wisdom to come from, you're going to realize, maybe if I did it this way or this way. So what that mentoring relationship really does for us is it gives us the opportunity to operate with foresight. And it gives us the opportunity to maybe avoid some of the challenges that other people have run into, to draw on their wisdom, to draw on their experience, to make our journey a little more ours, and to make our journey in some ways a little bit easier because we don't have to repeat their mistakes of the past. We don't have to go back and redo it over and over again to learn that for ourselves. So you can see the mentoring relationship is so powerful and it's so unlocking. And what happens is as these different layers within the mentoring relationship or the mentor process opens up to us, we start to build our enthusiasm. We start to build our passion. So if enthusiasm and passion is one of the key things that you're feeling challenged by, then I encourage you to go out and talk to people or even pull up a video online about how to do something because it will start to get you real about what it's going to take to implement your dream or your vision or your way of doing things. And I know this morning for me, I even woke up inspired this morning, and I had a big smile come on my face because I thought to myself, oh my goodness, Ann, what are you taking on? What are you thinking about taking on here? But my mind couldn't get away from the aspect of, what if? What if I did this? And it was a very, very exciting thought to me. Not because of just accomplishing something in the world, but because I looked at it and said, yeah, if I did this, everything could be made my own way. Everything could be my vision, my dream, as opposed to somebody else's framework to work from. So that's the big lesson there. And I'm not going to share with you just what that vision was just yet, because we'll see if I put it in motion. I don't want to talk it out, just in case I do decide to put it in motion. And if I do, I'm going to let you all know, because I'm going to let you follow that journey, because it is going to be a huge part of code explorations, code journeys, and just unfolding a really amazing process of living a dream and drawing on mentor energy. Oftentimes I know that people come to me as a mentor and draw on my wisdom. Many other coaches will do that to get that sounding board. And this is a way of working wisely in our life. So I hope that you will embrace this process, and that you will engage the mentor within, be open to sharing with other people that you see committed to their process. It doesn't mean you have to share with every single person, but in a way you are. Just by sharing who you are, sharing your insights, sharing your experiences with people, allows them to grow. And whether they do anything with it or not, that's okay. Because you are stepping into being that mentor. You're still stepping into that energy, whether they do anything with it or not, whether they choose to have that for themselves or not. So the really cool thing I think about mentor energy is you can't lose with it. It's a win-win for everybody who chooses to participate. So get out there, take advantage of it. Thank you so much for listening to this month's video. Pick up your copy of the Code Journey, and hey, if you want to engage in some really more cool stuff on the Code Journey process, we are now doing study sessions, and that's an exciting open forum discussion area, and you can come in and chat with us and ask the questions and these very things like, hey, what about all this mentor energy that's coming up? What is that really about? And do I really have to go find and search that teacher? No, just be in everyday life. If you don't have the resources, just be in everyday life. It's how you approach life. But if you choose to find that select person that you want to work intensely with, go for it and do it. However you choose to approach it, be the mentor, be open to being mentored, and I will see you next month. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.